You have to choose where you're going to spend your time. I chose Usenix. I'll tell you why, and I recommend it to you. I chose it because it's a place where the people who build things come.
Usenix's goal is to offer welcoming, vendor-neutral spaces to gather with one another and share ideas within the advanced computing systems community.
Whenever you're in a forum like this, you see the excitement. You see all this stuff that's going to change the way we work and live, for sure. But you're seeing sort of the beginnings of an idea.
Bill Joy came to me and said, "So Eric, you know more about email than anyone else. Why don't you write the email software?" And being young and naive and too stupid to know how much work it was actually going to be, I agreed. And that turned into Sendmail.
I remember showing up to the conference and I cornered poor Eric Allman with all my Sendmail questions. And I have to admit, I was a bit overwhelmed and I was a little awestruck by the people I met, because these were the people who built the foundations of our field, that built the internet. And they were so kind and welcoming and completely approachable. They were just people.
We were in the right place at the right time. I mean, it was just serendipity that we happened to be in this milieu, which, really became a big core piece of what's still used today.
Usenix, it's an interesting organization in the way that it pivoted. Originally, it was, here's this neat thing I did on or to my Unix system, and sharing Unix software and modifications and so on. And it gradually became more academic. It pivoted to become a systems research organization with many more specialized conferences. And it's not easy for an organization to do that sort of pivot.
If you had an ARPANET connection, it cost $250,000 a year. So there weren't a whole lot of them. Your computer, your PDP-11 was at least $150,000 and probably closer to $500,000 of hardware. And so as a result, going to Usenix was important. That was really part of the culture of keeping things happen.
There was no internet yet. It was very exciting that there was a terminal, there was a computer that could be afforded by a modest research group that would allow multiple users. We had meetings, we talked to each other, we exchanged software.
And we've always prioritized the people over the technology, over the vendors, over the money. Conferences are intentionally smaller and more intimate to make that real connection possible.
A lot of industry conferences, that's how things work. It's very pay to play. And what we wanted was a place where we can have people from industry and academia and NGOs and governments all coming together and just trying to figure out how to do this better, as opposed to something that was a little more tilted on the playing field. We thought that Usenix would be the perfect place.
These conferences create some of these social connections that really push the science forward, and also, I think, just make the profession of computer science more fulfilling.
I was a freshly minted PhD student, and I was just amazed that I got to go along with all these people who seemed like 3 feet taller than me and infinitely experienced.
I find it very surreal, talking with these practitioners who have been working on system research, system building for such a long time. And they're still coming to conferences and they still stay connected with the community.
It's just been a major part of my professional life. The contract for my first book was basically signed at a Usenix ATC in '92. The idea for the book was on a train ride down to Usenix from New Jersey to Baltimore.
There was no such thing as computer science. It was fun trying to figure out how to program in C when there was no book about it.
Our hundreds of volunteers devote countless hours to ensuring that as many people as possible can publish and present their work at our events, doing so with fresh ideas and senses of humor and fun.
And I think it's not a secret that Usenix is the best organization to work with. And it means, for example, that the PC co-chairs really get to focus on the program and the vision of the conference and everything, and leave to Usenix all of the logistics. And so working with Usenix is just such a joy.
Okay, you have a pile of papers and you have bid on them and you've agreed to comment on them. Someone has sweated bullets for years on this paper. You'd better do a damn good job. It was like Christmas morning. It's like, here are a whole pile of brand new ideas in a field you're interested in. What a pleasure to read it.
We absolutely set the standard. Openness. There's so much of the things that people take for granted and how the internet works that are fundamentally the core ideals that you've always seen in Usenix.
As researchers, we want people to read our work, to cite it, to benefit from it, to continue that cycle of development and learning and innovation and education. And I've always appreciated how Usenix makes all the papers available for free immediately.
I love the fact that Usenix so early on went to the open access model of publication. We do great inventions, we write great papers, but if they're not accessible to everyone, I think we can't make progress.
Community keeps me going. It's the impact that we have on each other's work and lives. Right? The internet makes it so easy to connect, but also to feel really isolated. And organizations like Usenix help close that gap. They bring people together to talk tech, to share knowledge, to solve problems, and we always stay grounded in the larger purpose.